many, many years, and they're on the precipice of looking for a rematch against Genji.
Let's get into the all-important game number 5 Fearless Draft. Pantheon will remain permabanned the entire series here. Oner's Nocturne as well getting a nod as we get super deep. You have to believe that Azir is going to be permabanned as well. There's no way either of those two champions are getting through. Nobody is trading that. And so we still have yet to see the Poppy make an appearance. I feel like that power goes way through the roof.
The Skarner and the Sejuani also very valuable, especially if we're thinking about a slower, more teamfight-oriented game. The Caitlyn respect towards Gumayusi going to be taken away. Gentlemen, I hate to say it, but Kalista does rise in value as we get into Game 5. So many of the power AD
Don't you
carries
put that bad juju out there. We don't want to see a Game 5 decided by Kalista.
Imagine if the Kalista gets its win in Game 5 of this series.
I mean, Jinx also. Jinx to me has a lot of priority now too. Tabe sometimes says, you know, it's Game 5, Jinx, we just win with Jinx.
I also really am a fan of champions like Ashe, which has been relatively low priority. I think Ashe can be strong, Zeri can be strong, Jinx, and we're getting TF here. Has not been super successful at MSI, but it is a champion that if you can execute well on, you can dominate the side lanes, you can find picks, you can control movement on the map.
I mean, I would say it hasn't been successful at all. 0-7 here at MSI, a champion that, alongside the Kalista, has not been able to win teams many games. AL putting a lot of faith in Shanks here in Game 5. The Alistar, an engaged champion that we often see early in the draft, has been left open all the way until the end. And that Jinx that you were talking about, Kobe, in the hands of Gumayusi.
He's hovering it. This T1 team, they lock it! This T1 team that this year, as you touched on, so many changes. Zeus to Doran, controversial.
Oh, Ziggs bot.
The immediate response as well. They were expecting this. The Poppy comes through as well. Wow, AL with a clear game plan coming into Game 5.
Absolutely, and this could be really difficult because what they're going to look to do is gold card onto the Jinx, Ziggs ult immediately on your head. They're looking for this sort of combo where you can dive into the backline. And Jinx can be pushed in and poked out by the Ziggs. It can be difficult, but it's not the most comfortable for some AD carry players. We have to see how well Hope can actually perform on it. He has played it a couple times already, the split, so he should be locked in and ready to go.
Plus, it gives you a lot of potential for playing the map. When Ziggs can blow up towers on the side lanes, create more space for Twisted Fate to work with, and find some picks and keep that pressure up.
I do like what T1 have as a foundation, though, for their draft. Simple, straightforward, front to back. Put your trust in Guma. This Jinx in the clutch has just been so valuable, especially in these Game 5s where the pressure is really high. Teams will show that extra bit of respect, which for a Jinx means that all she has to do is concentrate on farming, getting that first item. And if a member gets low and she connects that ultimate, the snowball quickly begins.
We turn our eyes towards the top lane then. Camille protection ban here early on. Taking away the Hextech ultimatum, which is a great combo with working with a Ziggs. Also, Camille really good for split push, so they don't want to have to deal with Twisted Fate backing up split push Camille. I do like that strat. Nice one.
I mean, right now, AL, they've got a lot of poke available to them. If they want to start fights, it's not going to be an easy thing for them to do. T1 have a very solid front line, so they're looking for things that can match into the Twisted Fate. With Ryze gone, with Sylas gone, your ability to play through sides is not the easiest. The Bard being removed, I think, is a smart ban. When playing with the Ziggs, you can leave that Ziggs alone, safe to free farm in the bot lane. The Bard would have a lot of access to roam around the map. Well, that is going to be denied. I wonder if things like Pike rise in priority for Kyle. Things like the Gragas a possibility as well for a little bit more disruption. LeBlanc taken away from Faker. Now that's a throwback.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go so deep here to find an answer in the mid lane now. Is it going to be probably
things like Akali still up and available?
A bit risky into the Twisted Fate.
If you do want to control mage, Way definitely fits the bill.
Yeah, I mean, it also fits nicely with this front-to-back style comp that they're going for. When you see how much range AL is going to get, especially when that RFC comes through. Teasing the crowd a little bit, Gumayusi, as he will lock in the way.
This does mean that they have two low mobility carries at their disposal here. The Jinx and the Hui must be protected.
Oh, the debate right now for Flandre. Does he want to go full towards the tank? Or does he want a little bit more of backline access, a little bit more carry power? He will go for the Aatrox instead.
And the pressure will be on Doran to do something with this counter pick. Doran, the newest member of the team. All eyes have been on him.
Oh, of course, the Poppy support. My expectation was that it would immediately go into the jungle, but they're bringing Olaf out into the jungle. They want to run this Jinx down.
It's very good against, Skarner and Alistar CC here. If you're looking at those two low mobility carries, and the only thing you have to get past is hard CC peel, that could be your way in.
The one thing I've hated about Twisted Fate comps is it feels like there's not enough damage to facilitate it. Aatrox plus Olaf, that is a threatening backline.
Gragas was the pick I was thinking. Doran has looked good on it, is up and available, and will give them some more explosive engage. You have to contain the Olaf, though. It feels like there's going to be all eyes on Guma. Get into the backline, the Olaf, the Zigzalt, the TF ult, everything piling in to try to take down this AD carry.
I mean, Doran's Gragas is a champion that he's brought out and had... I've lost the word. He's truly had amazing performances on it. He's been so clutch, and it's been one of those picks that, as you highlighted, Azael, he can default to when he needs to make magic happen. Naturally, as you said, eyes do fall on Gumayusi, but Doran can be the facilitator, can be the playmaker, can be the difference maker in this Game 5.
All right, in Game 5, with all of this pressure, we bring up one of the controversial picks. The Twisted Fate comes back as the champion pools dwindle, and we'll see if they can get TF a win.
It'll be the first way for Faker this split, and we'll see how he can perform on it as we're heading in for what will be the final game here between T1 and AL. Game 5, we're getting onto the Rift. It's time to go. This is going to be an incredible finish.
In the last game, Doran on the Jax came up huge for the team. Keria with the Spellbook Smite steal to get them the extra dragon, the extra range to the soul.
It'll be only the fourth way game for Faker all time. Has not lost on the pick just yet. Man with the champion Ocean, always going to have another bag of tricks to pull from.
Right now, it is control over this brush, the entrance to the bot side river for AL.
Olaf invades at level 1. You always have to be really respectful of that. If you get tagged by the axe, it could be trouble. But Faker knows it and is playing far back.
Notice the ward that Shanks was able to get deep in enemy jungle that is going to show the transition back to this other side of the map. They've got Raptor ward as well as deep blue quadrant ward to try and track Oner because of the invade.
Bit of chip damage already going to come down from Hope. So many times we've had this conversation about Ziggs, but it is very much just about farming in the early levels, wanting to get back to base so that you can have access to mana. Once you do get more mana and more levels, then your wave clear becomes a lot stronger. Meanwhile, our observers showing us Tarzan's path, starting on the Raptors and then immediately moving towards the top side.
I think Tarzan might have some sort of plan for some invades going on because they have so much deep vision, and he's going Raptors just up to this top side.
You can see T1's placements at MSI. They lost in this match the last couple of years, have not won since 2017, back with the roster that had Huni on it, and are looking to get back to the finals to try to claim another MSI title here for T1. Worlds has always been their tournament. They always perform well at MSI. Their dominance has not been the same as it has at that World Championship.
Yeah, MSI, last couple years, stopped by the LPL.
The trade's very aggressive. Heal's going to be used on both sides here. It is Spellbook this time for Kyle as well as Keria. Both players have been making great use of it.
Meanwhile, on the top side, we've been focusing so much on the bottom side of the map. It's Flandre off to an early lead, getting some nice trades against Doran, forcing him underneath the tower. Both mid laners throwing spells back and forth.
You can see AL trading pretty aggressively, and Tarzan did start Raptors, then cleared up to his top side. He's now reverse clearing back down. I wonder if he is going to try to find some sort of an angle to get aggressive, or just wanted to end on this bot side.
I think it's very much that. He wanted to make sure that he could just go straight towards that bot scuttle crab. He does playing with Pry on the bot side of the map right now.
Yeah, I mean, look at that too. They go for the early recall for Guma. Back, he's got the Cole and Doran's blade, and they're going for the swap already. T1 making the call.
Good poke there from Faker. Just trying to whittle down this TF. Being able to have Prio in a matchup against TF is so critical because you want to punish any roams that they go for. Keeping them locked under the tower is often the recipe for success, denying those roams before they even happen, or at the very least, if they go for it, making sure they punish. But you can see the early swap top. Guma is up here, Oner is behind. Flandre respecting the potential for this dive, but I think they're going to try to look for it. Oner will be the one to try to set it up. Body slam flash connects. He's stunned into the wall, and they're going to be able to take that first blood. T1 strike first in Game 5.
That was that recall timing on the Cole money for Guma. They make the call. They timed it right at 3.5 minutes. They recalled him. They sent Oner on over after the clear. They find their first blood. Keria got solo experience on the bot side for quite a while, and then they could just teleport Doran back over to cover.
A flawless dive, flawless timing, and a flawless start for T1 as they do find that kill onto Flandre. Not only do they alleviate that pressure that Flandre was putting down onto Doran, the only downside is that that kill didn't go over to Guma. If they had, they could have started the snowball on this Jinx, because meanwhile Hope was just free farming on the bot side of the map. You can see he has about a wave of an advantage, which is equalized due to Gumayusi being a part of that kill in top lane.
Part of the kill and also part of the plate that they were able to grab right off the back of that on that top side. So Guma does get paid. Shanks going to be a little bit annoying here as he interrupts Faker's recall. Kyle down here now with Hope. Will be the mismatch lanes here, but I do think this favors the Gragas. Obviously very safe, a lot of wave clear here. Doran should be able to hold on, I think, pretty well in the 1v2.
Yeah, tremendous amount of sustain both in the kit as well as in inventory. Doran still with his potion as well as the double biscuits. Meanwhile, Flandre is out of juice. Empty inventory up there as far as the consumables go.
And he is on the Null Magic Mantle, obviously, because of the double AP solo lanes, because of laning against Doran, but now he is laning against Guma. AL, though, will start up the early dragon here.
T1 positioning again for a repeat dive onto the Aatrox.
Remember, though, Flandre held onto his flash last time. He was perfectly CC-chained by Doran and Oner. Keria has flash this time. They decide, you know what? It's not worth it. It would be too risky.
A lot of time being spent. They're doing a good job of denying Flandre a lot of farm. But once he gets this wave, he should tick over to level 6, and he'll have a little bit more self-defense against the threat that T1 is posing on the top side.
Yeah, there were actually some red question mark pings inside the jungle over there. So T1 were clearly without the extra vision of Kyle, that not sure if it was just Tarzan on the dragon or if there was a Poppy coming through to defend a dive. So they call off the play in case there was defense from AL. In the end, AL get their dragon.
Kyle hovering around the mid lane, wanting to drop some wards to provide information to both Shanks and Tarzan, who now has hit level 6, the TP into mid lane from Keria, something we've been seeing a lot more on this patch since the buffs to Unsealed Spellbook. Tarzan, though, just power farming through his jungle. The route that he's chosen means that just on spawn, he's immediately back on those camps, and he's starting to build a small farm lead and an experience advantage over Oner, but Oner should be able to close that in no time.
And it's going to be really important for Tarzan to stay ahead of the pace of the game. There's no utility on this pick. The Olaf does one thing, and it does it really well, but you have to be strong enough to get into that backline, to send it for these carries. This is not a champion that has a good fallback plan. You need to put yourself in a great position to succeed. And Tarzan has been stellar for AL, not only in this series, but really all year for them.
Truly has. The leader on the team, as we've gone over multiple times here, really at the heart of this AL team. And as you say, if you're an Olaf and you're running down a Jinx, you better have enough threat behind you.
I mean, the Poppy's really going to help with that too, because any wall that stands in your way, Kyle is going to be right there next to you to move that wall aside and give you access onto that Jinx. We talked earlier in the series about how when that Varus was playing into the Jarvan, it was going to be difficult to navigate. Well, now that pressure is going to fall onto Guma. Both Flandre and Tarzan are going to be looking to put pressure onto this AD carry, while Hope and Shanks will be looking to apply as much poke as possible. T1 looking more so for that front-to-back team fight as they continue to scale up.
All right, the grubs here and available. Lots of extra experience in here for the jungle. Would be very nice for Tarzan to grab these for AL. Of course, they're the team with the Twisted Fate and the split push possibilities as well for later.
Looks like they're going to try to look for a steal just wide of Tarzan. The timing was on point. The aim just wide. Might have been able to steal one away.
Nice interrupt there.
Exactly, interrupted there by Kyle, who does take over to 6. Keria
this is interesting. This could be a trap play. The Skarner's going for counter jungle, but Twisted Fate has ultimate ready.
We'll see if they're going to be able to spot him out here. Faker pushing in on that bottom side, has eyes on the TF, so shouldn't be able to actually get that ulti off. Oner has to bail out, can't actually take the red buff.
Yeah, good defense there. The threat of the Twisted Fate ultimate and the Poppy here. Kyle comes over, defends his jungler's red buff. As you said, the resources for the Olaf critical. They don't want to give away anything on the other side of the map.
You can feel the tension as Tarzan is just kind of quietly playing his game. Of course, he is behind in gold, but full objective control going his way. They did leave a grub up on the top side of the map as Tarzan wanted to quickly get back into his jungle and continue his clear. Red secured. He's going to now go back to the Raptors and start moving his way through the jungle once more.
I think this first fight, when it does break out, is going to be so critical. If Tarzan can pick up some early kills, can get ahead in gold, all of the peel from T1 is magic CC. You know, it's being able to just ignore everything there. Run through the Gragas, the Skarner, the Wayfear, the Alistar combo.
And Kyle, look at this deep vision Kyle is getting super deep into the jungle. Both Krugs and Raptors warded up. Tarzan now finishing his re-clear up towards the top side. He can easily pick up the third grub, which is so nice when you have this Ziggs that can blow up towers. AL have the possibilities of ballooning a lot of mid-game gold through tower destruction. Once Ziggs get those down, once they proc the Void grub and open up some territory for the Twisted Fate to work with.
Tarzan now back for this third grub. They hadn't actually collected it earlier, so he's going to be able to grab it.
Nicely done by Tarzan. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to base and starts full clearing once again. He's probably sitting on a decent amount of gold. Going to clearing what camps he can, but it feels like the Tarzan is just one step ahead of him in terms of the clear.
And meanwhile, T1, they've built this comp for the 5-on-5s. They've built it to try and keep Guma and Faker safe. The two low mobility, big carry champions here need the extra safety. Keria doing his job with the extra vision on the bottom side, so you can try and hover up there.
The Sundered Sky now finished for Tarzan. Of course, with Shanks going for the Rod of Ages, it's going to be low damage here in the early game, but Faker hasn't completed his item either. Perhaps Tarzan feels that he's strong enough on this Olaf to just force the issue. Faker a little bit low on HP as Shanks found some nice trades. Flandre pushing out that top wave as Doran has just reset. Both top laners have TP available.
The T1 just trying to buy time for Faker. I think he has gold for his first item. He's heading back to base now with that teleport, so they want to make sure that AL doesn't have an angle to start before Faker can get back here. And he is teleporting, and there is that Blackfire Torch as expected.
Provide a huge amount of AoE damage here. AL going to start it out, and here comes the contest.
Both top laners have their TP. We'll see if they elect to join. Shanks has the ulti ready. Will he look for an angle into that backline? He's fighting with Faker on the side as Kyle goes forward. He's looking to get the ejection, but he gets pulled over the wall by Oner and stunned into it. Knocked down, and the Ziggs ult was wasted. Tarzan pops the ghost. In comes the teleports. Doran is there, knocking Shanks back into the team. Shanks flashing out, but can he get away? Keria zoning them off. The zap connects. Shanks is in trouble. Shanks is in trouble, and he's got nowhere to go. Guma gets gifted the kill. T1 win the fight off the heroics from Oner.
Oner comes up huge, yoinks him right over the wall. They get their kill, they get their dragon. T1.
Andre interrupts the recall, but can they punish it? Looks like no. Doran was there trying to cover. Both teleports were used.
Such a massive momentum shift. We were talking about how tense that first fight was going to be. Tarzan felt so strong on the Olaf, but it's Gumayusi that picks up not 1, but 2 kills. The Yuntal's now completed. Gumayusi ahead in gold. And now this Jinx is going to be a real problem for anyone's legend.
This is exactly where they want their money. And let's take another look at it, because Kyle on the bottom side is going to start channeling the Poppy ult, but Oner over the wall barely snipes him and yoinks him right back over.
And now Shanks finds himself in a very awkward position. The TP comes through from Doran. He chains ZC Shanks. He gets him away from the wall. Shanks is forced to flash, but he's just flashing to his death as Flandre retreats and leaves his mid laner to fall.
And in the arms race between an Olaf and a Jinx, with the Jinx getting 2 early kills, you can look at the disappointment there.
I mean, that shows it. They're going to look for a play here onto Faker, though. Gold card locked and loaded. The stun does connect, and there's the ulti pop here by Tarzan. Faker has nowhere to go. Can he get one back? Doesn't look like it. Great play from AL to get one in the side lane.
Okay, the Olaf trying to catch back up there in the arms race then. Tarzan with some money too. See about the rest of the map though. Should be fine wave clearing bottom side there with the Ziggs. Hope can hold that no problem. It doesn't look like there's going to be an early push before this Rift Herald. 50 seconds waiting on the arrival of that Herald.
Shanks needs to keep making plays like this. Catching T1 members out on a side lane, threatening that collapse. Congratulations to Oner. Passing on the 7th all-time for the total number of assists at international games.
You almost jinxed them, but not quite.
Very close. AL will secure the first tower of the game. The next objective for them would mean that they secure the feats of warfare. Herald spawning in 15 seconds.
Exactly, and look at the setup work that they did. Again, super deep vision leading up to it. They go for their reset timers though, and T1 move in. Get control of that critical brush at the opening of the river.
Yeah, most of T1's vision have been on that bottom side to play around the dragon. But this T1 here first at the Herald. Gonna be pulling it, starting that up. You can see everyone from AL coming out.
Guma has both summoners ready as well. When he's got his cleanse and his flash available, T1 are incredibly dangerous.
Good early poke there from Faker onto Kyle. Gets him somewhat low. Keria popping the ghost, looking for an angle. As the Ziggs ult does not connect, just barely onto Faker. Guma, though, getting chipped down some. AL know they need to chip them down before they fully engage. Doran is on the side, but Guma has the covering fire. Look at Faker over the wall, trying to threaten here. The Herald's getting quite low. Kyle looking for the knockout. Can he find it? No, sidestep there, but going to be interrupted on the charge. And Guma gets another objective. Tarzan pops the ult. He's looking for Doran. Can he knock him down? But Guma is untouched. Faker is untouched. And you know what that means. T1 are running over the fight once again.
The fight goes the way of T1. Hope will fall, and it is an ace. 16 minutes in, T1 wipe AL off the map.
AL Hope nowhere to be found in this arena, Vedius. T1 just clean up the fight. Guma even getting the objective here.
The barrel onto Shanks, knocking him into the team. The pick in the tri-brush. Everything going the way of T1. And Oner securing the 2-person ultimate. A perfectly executed team fight puts them firmly in control of Game 5.
I mean, Doran with the heroics, body slam flash over the wall, catches Shanks, knocks him right into his carries. Shanks could do nothing. And you can see the excitement on the faces of the T1 staff. They are so far ahead in this pivotal Game 5.
Game 5 heroics are what matters. And T1 coming up huge in back-to-back fights.
AL, the pressure must be mounting massively. They are so close to the finals. They've performed extremely well at this tournament. But now with the lead that T1 have, they're going to have to find some crazy plays to turn this one around. They'll need to find picks, utilizing this Twisted Fate ultimate. Perhaps there's an opportunity on the bot side of the map. But the Dragon is alive. And T1, they just want to keep fighting.
And Guma still has both sums. We were mentioning this before the last fight. He still has Flash and Cleanse available, so he can play so aggressively with the amount of peel that the T1 frontline have.
You look at Hope, no Flash. And Keria has his, so that explosive engage is available. T1 have this low. Flandre is in the pit. He has not been spotted, so he does have an angle to look for a flank. Shanks now clearing out the ward. AL does expose themselves. Kyle channeling the ulti, but T1 backing up. Doran, though, goes too far forward. Is going to get knocked out. AL trying to burst this down. Can they take it? They do get it, but the spiraling despair comes through, and Kyle is just gone. Tarzan is in the midst of all of T1, and he cannot win that fight. Great backstep from Guma. Avoids the Ziggs ulti. Shanks trying to flash out to safety. Hope is just being body blocked by Keria. You shall not pass. Knocks him back into Guma. It's another kill going the way of the Jinx, as Shanks is in trouble next. Has the gold card prepped, but it just does not matter. T1 will not be stopped. It's 12-1 into pivotal Game 5.
Keria continues to deliver these kills to Gumayusi. 7, 0, and 5 for the AD carry of T1. Another tower is secured. Faker in some danger.
Faker potentially in trouble. Flandre gonna pop the ulti, trying to catch up. Faker still has his flash. Nice fear to peel for himself. Guma arrives. Oner still in some trouble. The teleport is gonna arrive now from Hope. But T1, get out. Faker survives. Doesn't even need to flash.
Tarzan on the hunt here, looking to find something. He at least does stop the recall there, but can't get anything more. T1, they got their fight win, and they got Faker out alive.
It's Guma that's getting all the kills, but this game is all about the supporting crew. Oner with his engages, Keria with the utility that he's providing, and you'll see how in the entrance, it's very difficult for AL to approach. Flandre comes in from over the wall with the TF ulti, dissuading T1 from engaging. Kyle connects an ulti onto Doran, he TPs back into the fight, but once they get the objective, AL can't stay in the fight, the damage has been done. A nice ulti from Faker comes through, and they just go pick up the bait, and look at Keria on the backline. The two-man knock-up, he's gonna just shepherd Hope, wait for his team to arrive. The flash comes through from Shanks, and then just look at this beautiful delivery from Keria, hand delivering him to Guma.
And Guma hitting zap after zap on Shanks, keeping him in range, slow after slow to be able to chase down the extra one. They let nobody out alive.
The last 5 international winners, 4 of them have been from the LCK. If T1 does take this series, it would be an all-Korean affair in the finals, guaranteeing the 5th straight international title for the LCK.
They are headed that way right now, and Guma is leading them there. 100% kill participation from the Jinx.
TP comes through. Looks like from Keria. The Artican, an objective that T1 have loved to force around in this series. They know that they're stronger in the fight. AL are going to have to find some magic in this Game 5. This Jinx is so strong, and here we go.
They're starting it up already. Keria and Doran on the side, trying to block them out. The Herald will be summoned as a distraction, but Tarzan, Kyle, and Hope coming in on the side. TF ult is going to be popped. Shanks is trying to join from above. He does land some good poke there onto the backline. Faker incredibly low. Will they just back off here? Doran finds the reset onto that Otacon, so it's back to full HP. Faker is going to base, he has his teleport, so he can rejoin, and T1 could look to force. They're going to find Flandre. Flandre on the side, casts back, flashes out, but can he get to safety? You can see Kyle looking to knock Oner away. He gets a stun on the wall. Faker's TPing in. Flandre is down. Guma is legendary. Oner in the midst of everyone. Shanks trying to get the damage out, but they just don't have enough. Oner is still standing on no HP. He survives, and T1 want more. Keria goes in. Knock up onto Kyle. Kyle is down as well. It's the reset for Guma. It's the chase down for T1. The body slam connects onto Hope. Guma gets another, and Shanks is gonna fall as well. T1 are marching down mid.
It's a slaughter, and T1 are the executioners. Keria and Doran feeding kill after kill into Guma.
17 kills under T1. Keria and Doran start the engage off by once again hand delivering another meal to Guma. Faker with the TP, cutting off their escape, funneling the rest of AL back towards the river. Shanks TP's in, Tarzan thinks he can turn it around, but they just don't have the damage. T1 pick apart AL, and they are tearing them apart in Game 5.
Nobody left alive. Keria popped his ult. Him and Doran just constantly holding down each and every member of AL.
Tarzan knows, Shanks knows, this could be the end for them. It's going to take a miracle, if not multiple, to be able to try to come back in this game. An over 8,000 lead now for T1.
Tarzan is deep in enemy territory right now.
And they're going to hunt. Keria is moving up there. Will they be able to actually chase him down? Tarzan has been spotted. Double TP here to try to cover AL. Has their jungler spotted though, and Tarzan is still hanging around. The rest of the T1 members are down for that dragon, so AL trying to surprise here. Can they actually catch Faker? Heal used for the move speed. Gold card comes in. Ziggs ulti through. Faker in trouble. Flashes out, but Tarzan is hunting, and Tarzan gets the shutdown. The teleport's coming across here. Are they going to be able to turn it around? Keria is in the midst of everyone, and it's a double for Faker from the grave. Doran arrives now. T1 low on damage, but they just want to keep them around. Guma is coming, as is Oner.
He's taunting them!
And look at Keria, he is just styling on them. Oner is almost here now. And AL, no, they don't have the damage. Keria is dancing on AL, and he's soon to be dancing on their graves. Flashes out, but does get shut down. Hope in trouble. Great sidestep, though. Oner does not connect. Guma still on the way. Not here just yet. But can there be an angle for AL? Guma now arrives. Oner still surviving. The ulti can expire from Flandre. Can he take one with him? The CC is never ending here. They get another shutdown though. Hope with another kill maybe gives them some way in. But Keria styling on him. I have never seen him playing like that. On an international stage, the confidence is just oozing out of T1.
People lovingly say the T1 circus, and they are starting to have some fun here. Maybe a bit too much. Some shutdowns going back the way of AL.
And you can see the idea of AL's composition as well. Faker did get a double kill in that fight, but the idea was well executed as they caught him out on the top lane, the follow-up from the Ziggs ulti, and that's the type of poke that AL has available to them with this composition. It's true that if T1 don't show proper respect, there's a world in which they can concede one too many objectives. A single Baron could still flip this game on its head.
Big gold swings are possible when objective bounties are up. But right now, T1 with such an advantage that they can go clean it out and force you to walk into darkness versus Keria, Oner, and Doran, this front line that has been so good at setting up for the carries. Here we go. With the Scuttlecraft, they'll see all of the wards. They don't even kill it.
Tarzan could be in some trouble here. Doesn't want to use the ulti just yet, but he is in so much trouble. Now gonna pop it, try to turn around here. Shanks coming in from the side with the red card. Flandre is rooted up, and Tarzan is down already. Doran now coming, and Flandra's gonna fall as well. Guma legendary again as Oner goes forward. He's looking for Kyle. Hope trying to lay down some covering fire, but he can't do much. Shanks now retreating back. The carry's still alive here for AL, but Oner looking for the dive. Carry is behind him. Shanks is locked up, and Shanks is gone. The ignite pop there onto Hope. He's got to get back to safety if they have any hope of holding on to this game.
T1 is hungry for blood. They find another 4. It's only Hope left alive as another tower falls. The Baron is there for the taking, and T1, they are dominating in Game 5.
It's like a waterfall when all of the tension just releases in game number 5. T1, fight after fight after fight, just crushing it. Having fun now on the stage. And the Baron will be theirs.
Tarzan trying to get there as fast as he can, but it was obviously too late. Hope even teleporting out. They're trying to see, can we find someone on a late recall, catch someone, get some purchase in this game. T1, I think most people were betting against them coming into this series, but it always feels like when you count out T1, they just get stronger and stronger and stronger. The struggles they're always able to overcome never cease to amaze me.
Yeah, a crazy year for them. Zeus for Doran, swapping Guma and Smash, working so much this year. Everyone just thought it was going to be HLE and Genji, the representatives, but T1 climbing right back up, and they're moments away from looking to a rematch with Genji.
And I was right there with everyone, thinking that it was going to be HLE and Genji, thinking that T1 wouldn't even qualify, and yet here they are, Game 5. 11,000 gold advantage, potentially moments away from closing the series. and looking for that all LCK rematch. They took Gen.G to 5 last time. They certainly want to do one better, try to take him down this time. T1 pushing in 2 waves here.
You can hear the roar of the crowd supporting T1 as they break into the base. The ulti comes down.
Oner not able to connect there on the Impale, just barely. Flandre does back up, but the wave clear, not enough. Oner gonna get knocked out here. But there's no real angle for an engage from AL. Their damage is just too lacking. They can't really go in. And Kyle has to flash out there as Faker shoots out the Spiraling Despair. Can't quite connect, but that's another summoner down. That's another resource lost here for AL. And they are working with scraps already.
Gumayusi is monstrously strong.
T1 looking, posturing. The Nexus towers and the Nexus, all that remains between them in the finals. The tower is going down incredibly fast. Faker somewhat low, but AL, if they're gonna make a stand, it's gotta be now. Shanks gonna pop the ulti here, but can't even find an angle. He's gonna look for Faker. They're gonna go for it, but the fear is perfectly timed onto Shanks. Into the back line goes KL. They do get 1 kill. Shanks still surviving on the side, but Guma is alive. Keria is chasing Hope. Oner is there with the CC,